And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well at Dan Who Reviews. And yo, Joe, June, as they say, it's nearly the end of June, but they saved the best till last. That is for sure. Today, literally hours ago at this point, Hasbro have revealed that the very first ever 6-inch G.I Joe classified Haslab is going to be a Cobra H.I.S.S. So today is a very special, spontaneous episode of Joes+Juice to talk about that recap, initial reactions, first thoughts, all of that good stuff. So hopefully you are in for the long haul. Again, we'll be about an hour, just a nice little special episode today, recapping this epic news, because as I said, I'm very impressed. But of course, it's Joes+Juice, people. I cannot do it on my own. So let me take it over to the gentleman on the front line. Again, I tell you all the time, I'm just the man in the chair. We've got Tom, aka Mini Plastic Multiverse, and then Mark, Tac Customs. Gentlemen, how you doing?
All very good, Tom. All good, Dan. Reporting for duty. It's not a drill.
Good. No, it isn't. It is not a drill. It is official, people. So let's just get straight into this. I will come back around and do housekeeping in a second, but I do want to just get straight in there and do an early report on this Haslab, because it is flying, okay? So straight away, first, let's just take the note, okay? So before I press refresh. So we're on 5,504 backers in, how long's it been, gents? 2 hours, maybe?
A couple of hours, yeah.
2 hours, which is crazy. Let me just press refresh, see how quickly it is all jumping. So I'm refreshing it right now. Okay, there you go. Another 80 within that couple of seconds we were speaking, which is insane. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on this as we go through, but it has been jumping relatively quick. So we're going to recap all of this goodness, and look at that goodness. Look at it. But we will recap it all. But first, let me just do the housekeeping real quick. If you are in the chat, make yourselves known. We'll give you a little bit of a hello before we get into it. But first, let me just say, welcome to the channel. Of course, every single Thursday, I'm live with Brandon and Super Producer, talking Marvel Legends and anything else we want in the world of toys. And then Sunday, including this Sunday, is Legends and Liquor. Virtual hangout with the channel members, and obviously always a good time. Turtles and Tea, we'll be doing another one very soon with Tanner. Shout out Tanner. He's about to go off on holiday. I think he's the best man. Enjoy yourself. And then today is, of course, Joes+Juice. And if you want to support all these channels, all these shows on the network, you can do so by being a part of today's stream. Get your opinions heard. Anything over £4 or $4 via the super chat. Friday, we'll read it out loud, and you can be part of today's stream. We appreciate you, all right? And then after that, you can hit the join button, be a part of the channel, and I love you forever, okay? But today, as I said, we are talking this G.I Joe Haslab. So, gentlemen, let me just get it up on screen, and we will go through the pictures and go through all the details, all of that. But first, I just want initial reactions, okay? Firstly, I want to know what your expectations were, and then when it was revealed, your first thoughts. Tom, over to you first.
Well, I think it looks amazing. It's more detailed than I thought it was going to be. I thought they might just literally blow up the 3.75-inch one, which they've kind of done, but they've added in a lot of detail, and they've got little features like the hatch in the back and stuff like that. And I wasn't expecting the lights at all. The lights were a big surprise.
Yeah, that's something that never even crossed my mind either. But so, your first thoughts were it was better than whatever you expected.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mark, what about you?
Yeah, well, I had, an idea. I think we all had an idea. They hinted it in things that we were going to get a H.I.S.S. They showed it. One of the first things I saw was the grayscale model, because I had the stream on, because obviously our time here in the UK, 4 p.m.
Yeah.
I had it on while obviously at work. But the grayscale model, I thought, well, that's quite big. That's impressive. Obviously I was expecting it would be classified. But yeah, I just had to back it.
Yeah, of course. We're going to get into all of that, all of our thoughts. But again, let me just first say hello to the people now that they're here. Thank you very much, everyone, joining us. As I said, spontaneous episode on Joes+Juice, talking about this G.I Joe classified Haslab H.I.S.S tank, Cobra H.I.S.S tank, as I loved the sort of intro video they did with Cobra Commander as well. Who did that Cobra Commander voice? It sounded like Mark Hamill a little bit.
Mark Hamill.
It is it? Yeah, it was. Okay, that's why it sounds like him then. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the chat. Let me open my Copperberg. Only a can today, gents, because I know we're only here for an hour, so no need for the bottle. Let me take a sip and say hello to some people. Firstly, I can see Damien. Damien was sharing the love in the chat as well. Thank you very much, Damien. We got Mike Hex, we got Home Dude, Jason Lopez, Iron Manuel, John's in the building as well. Super Turk, he says, hey, yo, I think he's in the airport right now. Shout out Super Turk. Literal Action Figs, Compulsive Collector, Greg Finstad, Phil Jones, Red Room Trading. There's a lot of the old Joes doing ready. Oh, look at that. Michael with the super chat. Thank you very much.
Bring Toys to Work donated $25. Cobra, so glad to see the Joes+Juice team today. Looking forward to the stream.
Cobra! Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Michael. Much appreciated. What was funny is because as soon as, I hadn't even finished watching the stream, and I checked my inbox and I had a few messages off a few people, and Michael straight in there with his first thoughts, and he's very excited as well. He'll be joining us on Legends and Liquor this Sunday, and we can hear all about his thoughts. I know he's a big G.I. Joe fan. So thank you very much, Michael. Much appreciated. And thank you everyone else that's in the chat. Eric Stream as well. Jeremy, I can see you in there. We appreciate you. Right, now let's do this officially. Let's go through the actual images, and then we can start breaking it down, okay? So here it is. The Haslab. It's revealed. It was live, basically. I think it sort of leaked out yesterday. I know Tom sent me like a clip off Hasbro Pulse. So we sort of, because it was on Lenny's cake, we sort of thought it was going to be the H.I.S.S tank. And then yesterday they sort of clarified it with that little leak on Pulse. So it was ready to go today as soon as the live stream started. I think it was already on Pulse. But here we go, yeah. Never before has an undertaking such as this occurred. Our project is the first 6-inch scale G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra H.I.S.S vehicle, for which everyone has been clamoring. EMEA 2999999. I don't know if EMEA is the right word, but grants backers the base offering of my technological wonder, the H.I.S.S, as well as the highly articulated Cobra H.I.S S driver, which is great that it's included. We'll get into that in a second. With premium deco, detailing and articulation for posability, the vehicle itself contains astounding levels of detail and features allowing for a myriad of posing and display options. This crowdfunding project will run from today, June 29th, all the way to August 16th. If successful, the project will begin shipping at December 2023. So we're a long way off actually getting this in hand, which is always the painful thing about a Haslab. But it is always fun to see all the nonsense that comes with it, with the unlocks and stuff like that. So I'll play. Let me make sure this is muted, and I'll play this video as we chat. So Mark's already give it away and said he's back in. But Mark, right? We can take this opportunity if you want to start put offers out for your kidneys. I think you can survive with one lung. We can just chop an arm off or something. What are you right-handed, left-handed? Like we can figure this out.
I might have to become left-handed.
Because the army building king, it is tempting, isn't it, Mark? Like even yourself.
Definitely.
Do you reckon? Okay, so the first question is for you guys before we go through all the pictures. Do you reckon this is a good choice for the debut Haslab of Classified, because it is sort of an army building vehicle. Marvel Legends sort of did the same with their first Haslab. They chose to go for Sentinel rather than Galactus because it was an army builder, first one out the gate. And from the numbers we can see already, then this is flying already. So is this the right choice?
Would you say, Dan? Well, I was just going to ask, do you think this is the fastest funding Haslab? Because it's definitely up there, isn't it?
So far, for 100%.
Yeah. Mark.
Say again, Tom, as well.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I've said it now.
Well, it just popped up on the screen. 8,000 backers needed. And what's also great as well is this early bird thing, which again we'll talk about in a second. But back to that question, Mark: is the H.I.S.S tank a good choice?
I think so, Dan. Yeah, I think it's an iconic vehicle. I myself actually would have probably liked to see a Joe vehicle, but I think it's an iconic vehicle. It's maybe one of the most iconic, Cobra vehicles, and you can get multiple. So if you're so inclined, I know we've talked about it, Dan, you and me, and maybe having two. I think it's at a price range where you could probably stretch to two. People have stretched to more, but I think it is a good choice. Yeah, I would agree.
What about you, Tom? So as I said, you've got some of the 3 3/4 vehicles, including this guy, right? Including the H.I.S.S tank. There you go. There's the early prototype. They scaled it down when they sent it to
mine. Hold it at the right distance to make it a little big enough.
But yeah, H.I.S.S tank, is it a good choice?
It was the obvious choice, I think. I think if you were going to pick one for the first Haslab, you're going to go for that. But and by that, I think it's still a good choice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, they went Cobra first, but they did sort of. I think that intro, Cobra Commander, alluded to the first G.I Joe Haslab was actually the Sky Striker, which was a Joe vehicle. So obviously they decided to go Cobra this way around. But if you ever see any scene, there's no scene in the cartoon, I don't think, where you only see one of these things. All right, there's always a fleet of these vehicles. Like, so in my head, like, I'm already planning and building, and I love symmetrical and army builders. I need the golden rule is like even numbers, and I'm like, like 2 of these flanking an army would look great. So look at the like so far all we've seen is digital renders in regards to the color palette, because what they had to show off on the stream today was just like a resin sort of print, it seems, a sort of a base, and it's going to be changed and adapted. 4 unlockable tiers, as you can see on the screen as well, but none of them have been revealed so far. But if I pause that, we can start going through the pictures and see what is actually revealed. So let's go through these images. So here's the tank. Looking great. I like the colour palette. Blue and black are usually the colours for the H.I.S. tank, so they've chose for the black and the red. I'm absolutely fine. I think I would have preferred black over blue, because I think blue is more... Well, blue's the sort of infantry colour, but I don't know. I just like black. It's sleek, and the black and red's going to stand out. So I like that. So we get 1 seat in the front with the windows. The windows will pop up as well. There you go. And they pop up to the side as well. We've got a turret on the back, which will actually fit a figure to stand in. I was trying to see if there's handles on the turret, but I couldn't really see if there's any handles. I'd rather him be holding something up there, but I'm not sure if there's anything there to hold.
Yeah.
But with...
I haven't really thought, but how's he going to not fall down the hole?
There is a base at the bottom. There definitely is a base that he stands on. So it's like it's hollow, but there is a base. But I was like more like, can he hold onto these? Like, or is he just going to stand there? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want him holding.
It's on the 3.75 either, so
okay, maybe
just got like a control screen.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course. Maybe that's what's going to be there instead. You're right. They did say that none of the screens on the render that they showed are there. Not the render, but the printout. But anyway, someone in the front. There's those screens we talked about. These are LED like lit screens as well. Like that red light is going to make these pop, which is really good. So yeah, someone in the front, someone on the turret. The treads actually work as well, working treads, which is crazy for the tank. Yeah. And then the back opens up, which is great. I don't think the version you've got does this, Tom, right? That doesn't open up the back?
There's no space in the back. You couldn't do it even if you wanted to.
So this opens up, and it has a seat, which clearly looks like it's for transporting the Cobra Commander himself. And they've also got like a weapons rack on the side as well, which is a very nice touch. I like that. I also like the ramp as well to get in the vehicle. But yeah, so it seems like all in all, you'd at least store 3 figures in this. You can maybe shove a couple just standing around in the back if you wanted to. But for display purposes, if you're going to have one backwards, have it open, you could have characters walking in and out with putting weapons on the weapons rack, someone sitting down. But there's the character it comes with. And I think this is what's really important. It's that sometimes Hasbro have that sort of, especially, again, the Star Wars team is just a really bad example of the Haslab thing. But this could have easily have been like the first unlock. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have said, here's the H.I.S. tank. The first unlock is the driver. That seems pretty obvious. So I'm very glad that they didn't do that. And it's like, no, base the straight away. You get the tank and you get the driver, just like you did back in the day. So that's great to know. And then once again, we mentioned it earlier, but there's an early bird bonus. And that early bird bonus, they were talking about Ron Rudat. Now he's been in the toy industry for loads of stuff, not just G.I. Joes. I think he did like the original Hasbro wrestling figures as well. So he apparently did some concept designs of other colours for the driver. And so if this gets back, if we get hits its backing total of 8,000 within the first week of it being up, then we will get another figure in a different colour, another driver it seems in a different colour. Off the gate, like no unlockable tiers, just out of the gate, you get the tank and 2 vehicles, which definitely makes the price seem a little bit more appealing, especially as figures themselves are going up and up and up and up. Like, so I like that. Like, they could have easily have done first tier the driver, second tier something else, but no, we don't even know what the tiers are yet. And if this gets 8,000 within the first week, we know we're all going to get 2 new characters, which are going to be numbered as well in their own separate boxes that they made that clear. So 2 brand new characters in their own packaging and the tank. I like the red on the Trooper as well. Really surprised by these lights, gents. Did you expect to see lights, Tom?
No, not at all. I don't think we've seen lights in any Haslabs, have we? And it's Galactic
Sentinel, right?
Sentinel's got some, Galactic's got some.
Oh, yeah, it has. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I just never used them.
Again, but when we were like predicting what we thought the Haslab was, I didn't, even though we're talking vehicles, I'm an idiot, because not once did I go, oh, do you know what, the lights could be working. Like, so it was weird that it seems like such an obvious, easy thing, but I was like, yeah, of course, the light's up. And what's great is that you've got that little spotlight on the front, you've got the headlights, and I love that the panels light up, and they also mention that the back opens up and lights up like a sort of submarine style red light in the back, which is really, really good. Do you like the light element, Mark?
Yeah, very much so, Dan. I think it's just a nice finishing touch, isn't it? I mean, it's just like, if you're gonna, it's same with the Sentinel and Galactus beforehand, I suppose, with Marvel Legends. If you're gonna invest, you know, a large chunk of cheddar, shall we say, or a large bit of wedge for a Haslab, you kind of want those bells and whistles, don't you? And it's nice when they deliver them. So absolutely, and like you say, it's not something I thought of either, but the fact it displays the Cobra symbol, you know, it shines it out on the floor, and the headlights work, and yeah, it just adds the excitement, doesn't it? And builds the hype of, you know, if you've backed it, like it's a nice little touch that you can look forward to. So yeah, 100%.
I've put a question in the chat, by the way. So if you are here watching this live, you can be a part of the poll. I started it right at the start, and people have already got involved. Nearly 50 votes already, so I appreciate you. It's a very simple question, people, and if you're watching this and you've got an answer at least, it says, are you backing the G.I Joe Haslab Cobra H.I.S.S? Very simple. 4 options for you. Yes, better than expected. No way, it's terrible. I'm getting more than one. And then the last one is, I want it, but price too high, because unfortunately that is going to be an issue for a lot of people. But so far, with 57% of the vote, it's yes, better than expected. 6%, no way, it's terrible. Who are those 6%? Like, if you're one of those 6%, let yourself be known in the chat. I'm very curious to know what you don't like about this, and like, I don't know what more they could have done for a H.I.S.S tank. I'm really impressed. 4%, I'm getting more than one. I'm not surprised that number's small. As I said, it's a hefty price. And 31% is, I want it, but price too high. So, question about the price then, gents. When we seen the leaked sort of image from Pulse US yesterday, we seen it was $300. And I remember saying that it's going to be £300 because the Haslab, Hasbro Pulse do not have a conversion rate. It's like they just changed the $ to a pound sign. So now we know what we're getting out of the gate. So we're not talking tiers yet, okay? Just out of the gate, it seems like we're on track. Let's do another little refresh real quick. It seems like we're on track for 2 figures. There you go. Look, it's edging towards. It's probably going to be on 6,000 before we finish the stream. So it seems like out of the gate we're going to get 2 figures, the vehicle's got lights, all that fancy stuff. Do you think the price point? Now, obviously, I know people. Of course, we'd all want things cheaper. Of course. But let's be fair here. In this current economic climate, is this a fair price, Tom? Is it less or more than you expected? What are your thoughts on the price?
It's pushing the limit, I think, but I think it's okay. I mean, it's difficult because I just bought a remote control Batmobile at 1/12 scale for a third of the price. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's an interesting point Tom makes, actually, which I'll come back to. Yeah, carry on, Tom. You make an interesting point. Well, I've noticed that as well. Remote control cars in this scale are significantly cheaper, and I don't know, is that because they just, it's just a case around electronics? But because I've bought 1/12 cars, like for display or whatever, RC cars, and you can get them for a lot cheaper than this kind of price for vehicles in this scale. So that's an interesting point. Yeah.
I just think some of those RC...
They don't have to live up to safety standards, and they don't for children. And then they don't have moving parts. They don't have doors.
Yeah, they don't have play features. They're basically like, you get the RC car with like a plastic shell over the top.
Yeah.
Where this has play features, it's obviously branded with license, and yes, Hasbro own the license, but this does have a lot more playability and display factor than an RC car. But you're not wrong. There has been some in the past. Like I brought the 112 Batman and Superman sort of Justice League Batmobile, the big chunky one with lights and smoke, and I ended up getting that at Costco for about $150. But when it was first revealed, that was like £300. But obviously the price went down, and eventually ended up on the Costco shelves. Where stuff like this, we know that's not going to happen. Like, that is not even a possibility. It's like you either get it now or you're paying those prices on eBay. And whether you like it or not, every single Haslab has went up on eBay. Like I was looking earlier, and even the Ghostbusters Proton Pack, which isn't even an action figure, it's like a prop, if you will, an accessory, etc. That is going for like £2,000. Like, which is insane. Yeah, crazy. So these are like, as I said, I know we're in a crazy like economic market with the cost of living and all that going up, but collectibles, it's been going up since COVID, and it doesn't seem any signs of slowing down. But every single Haslab, full stop, has went up on the aftermarket. So the price may seem high now, and I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying, like, fair enough, but it's not going to get cheaper. Okay, so like, you've got to start weighing your options. And the fun thing about collecting is that, like, in an ideal world, I've said this, I'd love to, for my symmetry in my brain and like my army on the shelf, I'd love to get 2 flanking an army. 2 would look great on a shelf. But it's a lot of money. So like, now I'm thinking, okay, well, what in my collection can I sell? Do you know, like, that's how you play the game. It's like you sell some old stuff to get some new stuff. Like Mark's been doing it with his army. Now he's got conga lines all day long of Joe in Action Force. But like, that's how you play the game. You gotta know your limits. We're all adults here. Like, you just gotta know your limits and figure it out. Like, but as I said, we've been all in. Just think Joes+Juice was created because of the success on Classified and Action Force and all that. So, you know, we're fans. Obviously, you're listening to people that are clearly already interested in this anyway. But today I was very pleasantly surprised. So go on, I'll skip through some pictures, gents, and I'll throw the floor to you, and you just let me know, like, anything that sticks out, any general thoughts, favourite elements of it, things that you reckon they could have done better. Do you have any thoughts then, Mark? I can see you look like you're in deep thought.
Think price-wise, I think, like, I do think it's a reasonable price. Like, I mean, you know, all Haslabs are around that price, aren't they? That were funded.
This is cheaper than Galactus.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, it's the same with the Marvel Legends ones. You know, they I guess they have to be, well, you expect them to be around that price. I don't know if they have to be, but you have to spend. There's mixed opinions, you know, in the comments on the channel, on the Haslab channel. Some people that were fine with it, some people not fine with it.
Those chats are toxic anyway. Like, people go in there just to be a knob. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And
the numbers speak for themselves, don't they?
Exactly.
It's already nearly at 6,000.
Exactly.
So there's 6,000 people that think it's an okay price. So yeah, it's, you know, I think it's a good. I think it's just a great stepping stone for the future, isn't it? We've all classified collectors have asked for vehicles. Here is the first example. It's doing phenomenally well on its first day. It's probably pretty clear we're going to get maybe a classified Haslab at least once a year, maybe one every 2 years, but it's going to be more common by looks of things if this is doing so well. So we're going to have vehicles, and maybe we're going to have even more vehicles at retail. I mean, more vehicles at retail because of how well this is doing, not just bikes. So I think everyone's a winner, really.
This says, just a reminder to everyone, begin shipping in December 2023, okay? So if there's any type of delays in this, we're not seeing this until 2024, which is crazy when you think about it. It's like, bloody hell, like...
But to be fair, they are projecting data way out at the moment, and then it turns up 2 weeks.
I hope so. But I can't remember when they projected Galactus, and Galactus isn't here yet. But again, they could be.
Galactus is supposed to be this autumn.
Okay, cool. Well, we shall see. I don't think many Haslabs have been late, apart from the ones that sort of were affected by COVID. But still, 2024. Okay, so like you're like me, Mark, right? You tempted. You're the army building king. Obviously, we joked about earlier selling some limbs, but you would like more than one of these would look great on a display, right? You're tempted, right?
Absolutely. When I first put it in the cart, I put 2, and then I was like, well, I'd love to, but I think I've got to maybe pace myself. I've got to see when it comes to nearer the end of the campaign if I can afford to. Then I probably, you know, at a stretch, I probably could do it, but I think you've just got to think what's right for you. I'm really happy I've at least got one. You know, I'm every time I look at the now the exciting thing is looking at the chart, looking at how fast it's funding. That's like the next sort of little thrill. I'm thinking, now it's 6,000. Do it, you know. So it's kind of, that's a little bit of a thrill. But I think you just got to. For me, the FOMO with this is that there's massive FOMO with this because I'm a classified collector. If I didn't get this, I'd be.
Well, you've been in the last year. You've been selling off your legends to go all in,
yes.
or get more invested in classified and Action Force. And what's great about Action Force is that they blend with this. His tank could join the swarm. I don't know how happy Bobby would be about that, but it's going to scale. It's going to be in scale.
Yeah. And Tom, in fact, Tom highlighted a third line, which would probably be becoming more common in 6-inch, which is called Marauders Gunrunners, which is based on a Kickstarter, and he sent me a link for that. And those figures will probably blend in quite more sci-fi kind of element, but they'll probably blend in nicely with classified and Action Force as well. But see, for me, I think the thing is, for me, the excitement with previous Haslabs, say Galactus or the Sentinel, was listening to your live streams, listening to you and Brandon and Rich all talk about it and how excited you were. And I always thought when we see the old Haslabs, I'm really looking forward to when a classified one arrives. And we're at that. Here we are. We're at that day. And I've been able to back in everyone. There you go, exactly.
Here he is.
There you go. As a Legends,
I'm using the lights, Tom. I'm using the lights. I forgot they were there as well. To be fair.
Yeah, and as a Legends collector, Dan, I bet that feels quite special to have that.
Oh, it does.
Piece, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. This Sentinel's great. What do you think?
Mine's in a cabinet, so I never think to push the button.
But what does he think of the? We're getting a thumbs up there from Sentinel. A nice thumbs up for this G.I Joe Haslab. So Tom, just over to you. Just general thoughts. Anything that stands out to you? Anything that you really like about it? Anything you don't like about it? Just overall thoughts on this H.I.S.S tank.
I actually really like the figure, and for me, more than anything, I love the tank, but I'm excited about the figures that are going to come with it and what other figures we might get as unlocks. I don't think all the unlocks will be figures, but I think if we got all 4 unlocks, I imagine another 2 of them are figures.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the screenshot where they said that. If I keep scrolling through this, early bird, there you go.
Every 2 after 8,000 is an unlock.
Yeah, so basically, even if you back this on the last day, right, as long as it hits 8,000 within the week, everyone's going to be getting this early bird bonus, I think. I think that's how it works. As long as it gets backed within that first week, I think the early bird bonus is unlocked for everybody. Yeah. So it's not going to be one of those Haslabs where everyone jumps on at the start because they want the early bird and then it just doesn't move. Do you know, because that would be a concern. But it does...
It does make more sense if people are thinking about backing it but aren't sure. Back it now.
Of course.
So we get the bird and then cancel it. You don't want it later.
Of course. I forgot that as well because I was speaking to Michael in the chat and I was like, just think payday just happened and we as collectors, you've always got a little budget in your mind of what you're going to spend, and Comic-Con season's coming up. So I always know that July is always a pretty pricey month with random pre-orders or figures popping up. So, I had a little budget for the month, and, I'm not going to lie to you, lads, this would blow it out of the water already. And I'm like, damn, it hasn't even hit the 1st of July yet. So I was panicking, going, I don't even know if I can get this yet. But then,
Dan, quick question,
Michael reminded
me, because I just thought of it as seeing the tank. Is something like this making you, as a Legends collector, making you excited for something like a Punisher van or something?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because you can kind of,
Yeah, of course. I've been saying that. I'd love a diorama, like a Hall of Armour type of setup, or a Punisher van. I'm happy with Galactus and Sentinel, but moving forward from Legends, I'd love them to explore something else. But just go back to my point as well. This doesn't charge until the 15th, right? Or whatever it is of August.
So day before my birthday.
16th of August. But now we know what Mark's going to be asking for his family for his birthday. Just everyone chip in. There's something I want. But yeah, this doesn't... So if you back it now, like Tom said, if you're on the fence, back it now. Let's help get that early bird goal done. And then you've got until the 16th to make your mind up, because it won't charge until the 16th. So if you're like me, you're thinking about, well, you want 1, but 2 would be great for your own crazy, insane brain. You've got basically over a month to figure it out. As I said, I've got a couple of Mezcos upstairs. I'm thinking, okay, goodbye Mezcos, and just go all in on this. I knew they were there for a reason. But yeah, there you go. There's the early bird bonus. And basically, it's going to be another figure. It's going to be another tank driver like this. But we get to pick the colour palette. The one that we get, obviously, is red. If I can find my mouse. My mouse has died. Let me change the battery. Yeah, so like the other one would be red. What colour would you want the other one? Do you want it some crazy colour, or do you want it just...
No, they didn't show what the options were.
Yeah, I would have liked that.
No, they didn't,
It was a shot that they said, but they haven't showed it yet. And I should have searched around online, but I haven't really had a look for it, to be honest. I haven't had a chance. But I don't know. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, to be honest, Tom, Dan, what colours I'd like to see the other character. I mean,
I think white.
So it's going to be this, but in a different colour, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm going to be a bit plain and boring, but maybe say black or red, I guess, just to go with what we've got already, to go, keep it a bit of symmetry. But to be honest, I'd be when they show them, I'll be happy with like whatever selection there is, because it would just add to the hype for me, the excitement.
Well,
and seeing what people choose as a fan first thing. So I think I'll be excited with whatever. I'm just excited. I'll be excited with whatever, really.
Well, to be fair as well, they did say that if it does reach that early bird goal and we get that extra figure, they said they're going to put the vote out to us, guys, like everyone who backed it. So if it does hit that 8,000 within the week, they're going to show us all the options, all the different colours, and then we as a community get to pick, which we, again, so that hopefully we have a wise community and we will pick the right one, depending on what it is. But I am very curious to see what the options are, at least. But I guarantee you, I'd like a couple of the options. And it's like, it's always going to pain me that we can only get one of them anyway. But yeah, once it's hit that 8,000, we will be able to pick.
That's a point, though, Dan. Do you think maybe that they might, like how they did with Galactus, I know they threw that head in as an extra thing. Do you think that, because it's funding so fast, that, there is a possibility they might throw extras in if it... So that could be a thing, couldn't it? Like, they give you the fan choice, but then maybe it in another colour as well, just as an extra or something.
So it's already jumped up a couple of hundred, by the way, while we're here live. Let me scroll down to the things. So obviously all of this is on the Hasbro Pulse website. It tells you everything. But down here, multiple classified stretch unlocks, or goal unlocks. There's 4. Okay, so the first one, 8,000 backers to fully fund it. So as soon as it hits 8,000... and hopefully it does that within the first week, we're guaranteed the H.I.S.S tank and 2 drivers of 2 different colours, all right? That's great. 2 figures and a vehicle. But if we hit 10,000 backers, we're unlocked the first thing. 12,000 backers, the second thing. 14,000, the second, and then 16,000, the fourth thing. So I don't think those numbers are out of reach. I think they're very fair. Do you know, like, it's not like they've jumped up to the 20,000. They're all quite... It's double, obviously, the original goal. But considering we're nearly on 6,000 on day one, it's got over a month with the hype of San Diego Comic-Con and all the extra press. And I'm sure these are going to be, hopefully, again, Hasbro, they're not idiots. All these teams are watching each other. Hopefully the whole of Hasbro have learnt the lessons from the nonsense of the Rancor unlocks of, here's some bones, here's a cardboard backdrop. No. We want figures. We want like things that are gonna make this more appealing and make it feel like it's more worth the money that you're dropping on it. So let's speculate on that, and the chat can join us as well for this. Okay, so we got 4 unlocks here. Okay, so in an ideal world, what do you want them to be? Before we guess what we think they are, what would you like them to be? So on our start, I would like. I would want every single one to be a figure. Like, I would just want more figures, like more classified. I want every single one to be a classified figure. I don't think that would be the case, but that's what I would like. Okay, so first question, what would you like it to be, Tom?
I think that one of them is something that goes on behind it, which I quite like the idea of.
Okay.
And I'd like the other 3 to be figures.
Yeah. Does the thing that goes on behind is in the cartoon, isn't it? Like, it drags like missiles or something.
It's that's right.
Yeah.
It's like a wagon. It's like a wagon that carries some of the missiles or something. And Lenny did make a point to say that the gun turrets on the top will have hollow holes in for effect pieces. So again, we can speculate about that in a minute. But again, question to you, Mark. Before we speculate what they could be, what do you want them to be?
What do I want them to be?
Yeah.
Well, like you, Dan, and like you, Tom, actually, I'd like them to be maybe a tow trailer and figures. So maybe one tow trailer and the rest being figures. I think they've got to be that, haven't they? I think they've got to be. Yeah.
Well, let's start breaking it down. Okay, so that's what we would like it to be, and I'm sure the chat would agree with us. We want figures. We want more figures with this. But there are options here, and Lenny did show, like Tom alluded to, a port in the side. I should have got the YouTube up and should have showed it. I'll see if I can get the YouTube up and get the actual. What do you call it? The actual. What do you call it? The H.I.S.S tank up. So it was on Hasbro Pulse, wasn't it? Let's search Pulse. Hasbro Pulse. So yeah, one of them seems like it's going to be an attachment for the side, whether it's like carrying weapons or carrying some more characters or army men. I don't. Let me scroll through.
Person. So that will be the
only way this tank could have been better. Thinking about it is if it transformed into Megatron with a baronet.
Well, that one's already out. That one's already out and available. Excuse me. So they've pulled it out there. So there it is, and it looks big. Like, it looks pretty big. Like, it's definitely much taller than the figure should be. So I like that scale. I love that the treads actually work as well. By the way, like, that's really impressive. And he definitely rolled it to show. So there's them showing the figure. The figure comes with a couple of weapons, interchangeable hands as well. By the way, is this the first time in Classified we've seen interchangeable hands? It is, right?
Yeah.
Commander, maybe as well, but... Snake Eyes new T-Pack.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And with Sergeant Slaughter.
Okay, fair. But we haven't got them in any in hand just yet.
No.
So I'm trying to zoom in where he shows the vehicle. So he's showing a close-up there. The lights are on. Derek with a super chat. Thank you very much. Let Friday read that out.
Derek Jackson donated $5. I would like a comic-accurate Cobra Commander as a tier.
Great option. I would like a comic-accurate Cobra Commander as a tier. Now, in the back of this, there is a Cobra Commander seat. Like, it's very clearly a Cobra Commander seat. So I'm assuming one of these unlocks may actually be some type of Cobra Commander variant. Like, it would make sense, right? Because of the Cobra Commander seats back there. So you may be in luck, Derek. You may be in luck. But there you go. So he showed, there's even ladders for the guy to climb up into the seats, which I really like, which I didn't even realise watching the stream. But there's like fold down ladders. There you go. There it is. That's the port that Tom's talking about. I knew I'd find it. So that opens up, and they Lenny even says, when you get something to attach, right? So that means they're not releasing this in the normal line, are they? Let's be honest. This is going to be an unlockable tier. So it's got to be like a more of a weapons carrier or an attachment. I'd love like a mini...
I'll just send you a photo, actually, Dan, of what's been done previously.
Oh, my Instagram doesn't work on the web at the minute, annoyingly. If you email it me, I'll be able to pull it up.
I can email.
Yeah, if you email it me. My Instagram's not fixed on my web, annoyingly. So that's definitely seems like it could be one of the unlocks. So again, one unlock at 10,000, 2 at 12, 3 at 14, and 4 at 16. Let me jump to the chat real quick, see what they're saying. Bats have interchangeable hands. Oh, you're not wrong. They do, to be fair, Craig. Craig is very correct. There was an image of the weapons pack being of the tank. I'm hours behind. Only just seen the pull stream, says Jay. The H.I.S.S tank looks amazing. I better go and back it. Yes, Jay. Jay is going to be definitely going to be tempted to buy more than one. Jay, how many are you getting? I'm curious. We'll be talking about this on Legends and Liquor on Sunday anyway, so I'm sure I'll be able to get it out of everyone then. But yes, going back now, let's see if we can let's have a little refresh, see what we've got going on.
Do you two find this exciting, seeing the backers climb? I'm finding it really exciting.
Michael in the chat just said we'll find out what all those colours are for the extra figure tomorrow when this backs, because it seems like it's on track to do that.
Yeah.
Look, we're probably, as I said, we're 125 backers away from 6,000. And if Jay goes and backs his 5 now, we'll be 1,020 away. Well, 120 away. I know Jay wants 5. I know he wants 5. Just by numbers, right? We've got over 88 people here in the chat. Hopefully you're near a keyboard. Hopefully you've got involved in the live poll that is currently running on the chat. Type in a number, like how many you want or how many you're getting, right? Just a number. Just type the number 1, number 2 if you want 2. I'll show you what I mean. I'm typing the number 2. That's what I want. Am I going to get it? I don't know. We'll find out. Just type in a number. I'm curious what people are thinking, what they would like. Because I do think the overall sort of fan community vibe of this is very positive. Like, a lot of people are impressed with this. I've seen people saying that they weren't going to back this wasn't even on their radar to get involved with the G.I Joe Haslab, but now they've seen what it is and they're like, well, now I can't not get it. Do you know? So in the chat, we've got a 0 from Phil Jones. Sad Phil Jones. He's saving his money for the Marvel one. A big 5 from Michael. The Irrelevant Hulk 2. Mike Hex got 2. Fabulous Disaster said, I've just ordered my second hiss. Damien's got the 1. Eric Stream says, gonna back a second real quick. Just think, everyone could back 5 now on separate orders just to get this past the 8,000 and then just cancel 4 of them later, all right? Let's make sure we get this happening. Jay says, I'm limited to 1, the missus says. Oh, dear. Oh, sad times. Just back another when she's not around, okay? Shh, she's not watching, right? Doc of the Avenger, he says 1, but I want 3. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Home Dude says 1 or 2. Clay says 1 or 2. Robert says I want 1, but might do 2. Frank says 1, maybe 2 later. Craig Smith, 1 at the mint, 2 if the other tiers are good. Oh, Chica Monkey Kiara is here. Whoops. She says, I hope Jay doesn't buy 5. Greg says none, unfortunately. McButter Golem says none. Now, Greg and McButter Golem and... I've already spoke to Stryden says 000. Are you just not interested in Joes? Is that all it is? Are you not into classified, or is it that this isn't as good as you wanted it to be? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I'd love to hear the other side of the coin. You've got 3 people here just loving this thing. Like, I would like to hear another opinion on why you don't think this is desirable. The poll, the poll doesn't have an option for not a G.I Joe collector. That's fair, Doombot, but I was also expecting G.I Joe collectors to watch Joes and Juice. That's all. But if you're not a collector and you're watching Joes and Juice, that's great anyway. But that is the reason it's not in the poll, because I assumed you'd be watching Joes and Juice as you're a G.I Joe collector. But I appreciate your viewership all the same, Doombot. I see you around. Derek says I'm on the fence, but probably 1. Frank says, okay, I'll go back more. That was easy. I didn't realise I had that type of influence over people. Frank, come back, Frank. Mike Heck says, I can take PayPal now. They take PayPal now. I'm in for 2. Do they take PayPal in the UK, lads?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Can you do PayPal volume 3?
Probably, yeah.
Can you do PayPal credit?
I would have thought so, but it probably takes it at the moment.
I'm in for 5. Let's go. No, I'm not really. No, I'll worry about it later. No, I'm not really. But that does help. That does help my decision making. M-Ray Gaming says, Joes look cool, but don't collect. Well, welcome to Joes and Juice, my friend. McButter Golem says, yeah, Joes are cool, but not really my thing. Well, welcome to Joes and Juice, McButter Golem. Arshavin says, not a collector, but now I'm taking. Well, welcome to Joes and Juice, Arshavin. Hopefully, again, I'm glad you're watching Joes and Juice all the same. I appreciate you here for the conversation. Craig says, this will be my first Haslab as Mr. Sentinel. Yes, again, you do get FOMO after these things come out, but again, you'll be back in this, and then we'll be waiting until December 2023. So next Christmas we'll be all with our H.I.S.S tanks. Phil says, I'm a casual Joe collector. I'd love one, but need to keep my cheese for a Legends Haslab. Although if they say there wasn't a Legends Haslab this year, I'd be in. Yeah, I'm very tempted to message my my pals over at Hasbro and go, is there a Haslab coming? Because I need to know these type of things.
I thought they'd implied that it was towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I do think there is going to be one. How can there not be? But I think they're just waiting for a few more updates on Galactus, maybe. Maybe we'll get a tease at San Diego of the next Haslab. That would be my guess, if they're going to do a live panel at Haslab, at San Diego. Yes, I can confirm PayPal credit, says Mike. That is good to know. And Doombot says, always try and catch it down who live. I appreciate that, Doombot. I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Chica Monkey Kiara says, to be fair, I'm not into G.I. Joe stuff, but I kind of liked it. It looks pretty cool. Don't tell Jay. I won't. It's our secret.
We definitely need 2 then, 1 for each of them.
Yeah, exactly, Kiara. There you go. There's a minimum of 2 there between you. There's a minimum of 2. Greg says, Dan, at this price, it should be RC, LED, lit turrets, sound effects, maybe an LEC HDU as well. And these are all valid points. We talked about earlier about how some of the metal stuff, RRC, and the price point is very similar. So I completely get that. That's a very fair statement. That's what Greg says. Greg says at this price, it should be RC, LED lit turrets, sound effects, maybe an LCD. You're not wrong. Road Pig John says, I can see Cobra Commander figures as a stretch goal in the raw cutters. Again, I do think Cobra Commander may be a stretch goal. I'm back at 5,900, says Jay. Let's give it a refresh. Is that going to jump 25 within that time? Let's have a look.
I think it will.
It jumped more than 25. It jumped 50. Do you want 50? We are 70 backers away from 6,000. Lads, I know Mark's got to go, but I'm not leaving here until this hits 6,000. That's what I've decided. I'm staying until it hits 6,000. And if you do need to go, Mark, please just disappear. Just let me know.
Yeah,
just
no
give
problem.
people a wave. Okay, we've still got more unlocks to sort of speculate upon. Okay, so we said one of them is maybe an attachment, whether it's to carry extra weapons or maybe carry some more of the inventory. I don't know, but that plug-in is there for a reason. Something plugs in.
I have sent you the email. The images are only tiny though.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's have a look at Okay, cool. I should be able to get these up. Let me download them. So basically, what Tom sent are what attaches to the thing, which would be perfect. So if I drag that there, does that pop up? Is that there? There we go. Can we see it? So yeah, some actual missiles, which is what you see in the cartoon. If you see the cartoon, there's occasionally these H.I.S. tanks dragging some more weaponry, etc. Let's see if I can get the other image up as well. But yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that's exactly what it is.
That first image is courtesy of Mike. He pinged it over.
Thank you very much, Mike. And there's the other one. The images are a little bit small. I can't really zoom in. I think I can try and zoom in. Can I try and zoom in? There you go. I'll zoom in. It's a bit blurry, but you can see what we've got going on here. It's basically a couple of wheels, and it's carrying some missiles. Now, if those missiles are separate pieces, so you can have your figures holding them, like adding them on. And if those missiles, well, where would they go? They wouldn't really go on the H.I.S. tank, would they, to be fair? So there's what we think one of the back unlocks is. That actual extra, what do we call that? Like a weapon?
Attachment.
Yeah, we'll just call it H.I.S. attachment.
Yeah.
Do you think one of the unlock goals... Now, I think this is a little bit underwhelming. I think this should be as an extra. But do you reckon one of the unlock goals is going to be just pieces, like explosion pieces for the turret?
I think it's going to be an accessories goal. I don't think it would just be... I think they're going to learn from the Star Wars one and not just be like, here's some blast effects for the turret. I think there'll be maybe a few bits.
Yeah, I hope so. What about you, Mark? Do you want some blast effects?
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? A friend of mine, actually, Ronnie, he said, what about like something for it to drive on, like a land sort of...
Like a little diorama base.
Diorama, yeah, exactly. But I think blast effects probably... Because Lenny made a point of mentioning how the guns would have the openings, wouldn't they? The holes, we should say, at the front for blast effects. So you'd have to think that they would probably include them. But I mean, there's so much potential, isn't there? There's so much potential for what they could add and give us and throw in if we smash the targets. And yeah, I mean, I like that color, by the way, that red color on that H.I.S. tank. It's really nice.
If you buy multiple, Mark, right, get yourself some paint. Come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give them a little paint.
Yeah.
Very expensive custom, mind you. But
yes,
I'm just saying, people do that type of stuff. People are crazy.
Yeah. That's true.
The lights are flashing, by the way, at over 100. I assumed the excitement levels would be high for Joes+Juice, so I do appreciate everyone sticking with us today. If you are here, please do get involved in the poll that is on the chat right now. Top of the chat, quite simply, are you back in the G.I Joe Haslab Cobra H.I.S.S? So far, 60% of the 84 votes are saying yes, better than expected. 11% no way, it's terrible. 5% I'm getting more than one, and 25% want it but priced too high. But thank you very much to everyone who's joining us here for this sort of our initial thoughts. Again, we'll be talking about this again on Legends and Liquor on Sunday, but we sort of had to get on. We sort of said at the start of Yojo June that would be back before the end, and literally the last day of the month is tomorrow, so we wasn't lying to you. We're here, and as I said, we started off the stream actually showing off some figures that we pre-ordered, like, I don't know, nearly a year ago. Not quite, but nearly, like a long time ago. So it's been a good day for all Joe collectors for sure. Okay, let's go back to some of these pictures then.
Mike's pointed out
What's that? Sorry.
Mike says it should be called a missile system.
Missile system. Thank you very much,
Mike.
Mike.
What we're talking about. So
we are idiots. Yes, I don't know. We just was like missiles on a truck. But yeah, they're going to plug into that, is what we all assume, people.
Mm.
But yeah, once again, shout out Lenny and Emily. And thank you very much, Fabulous Disaster, for the channel membership, showing some love. I appreciate that. And again, if you do want to get your comments and opinions and heard today, and also support the channel and make me want to do more live streams, then please do super chat, get involved. Friday we'll read it out for you as we press the refresh button again. As I said, like I don't know if these two, but I'm not going until this hits 6,000. Let's have a look.
That'll be in about 2 minutes.
42 away. We're 42 backers away from 6,000. Over 100 people here watching us right now talking about this fun stuff.
What are we thinking the other two unlocks would be?
Yeah, okay. Let's get. So again, I think Cobra Commander at one. Let's go. Where's that picture? Where's that image? I want the image of the back where you can see the chair. Okay, there you go. Let's zoom in on this. Okay, zoom. Enhance.
I don't think they do a classic Cobra Commander for it, but I could see them do like maybe
like a hood.
A battle ready Cobra Commander.
The armored one. You think? Tom?
Oh, you're thinking that they might do the hooded one?
Well, just think it is a Haslab, so it's collector focused. It's a £300 thing. It's not going to be on shelves. It's going to be behind box, like packaged. Do you know what? It's not going to be on a window box. Do you know, like? So I reckon if they're ever going to do a hooded Cobra Commander in classified,
best opportunity.
This is your best bet. Pack it in as is.
Right.
And that is a Cobra Commander seat. That's not just your average infantry trooper seat, right? That's a Cobra Commander carrier. This driver is carrying the man in charge. So I think there's got to be a Cobra Commander. I'd love the hooded one. Again, chat, do you reckon they're going to do that in this day and age? Like, again, we got an Emma Frost with a corset with G.I. with the Hasbro via the sort of fan channel type thing, and I do think Haslab is a good opportunity to give us a hooded Cobra Commander, or even just an interchangeable head. Do you know, like they didn't even have to talk about it or mention it or bring any attention to it. They can just say Cobra Commander with an interchangeable head. Do you know what I mean? That's all they need to say. But then all of us know what it's all about. The armoured one with the hooded head, says Doc Avenger. I'd love a beat-up battle damage Snake Eyes with it. They could put a heavy hitter character, like an alternative version of an A-list character in here as well. Do you know, just to make it more desirable?
I could see a Destro or a...
That's what I was thinking, Tom. Yeah, Destro, a version of Destro. Yeah.
Well, we've got Pimp Daddy Destro. We've got the regular old Destro. But this is a Mars Industry tank, so Destro could be a good shout. And there are multiple versions of Destro as well, so that's a good shout. I don't think there's any point of putting an army builder in here because I know people are going to be buying more than one of these, but no one's going to be buying. Again, the limit's 5 as it is. Do you know what I mean? So they can't really put an army builder.
What are they calling the guy who's like the early bird unlock? What's his title?
Engineer or something, isn't it? Cobra Engineer or something like that.
So don't we need some kind
Tactician.
of something?
It is a technician or something like that. You're right. It's his tank technician or something. Let me see if it says on the blurb. Let's have a little scroll. Did they mention it? There
Tactician.
You go.
Is it tactician?
Early bird, production. There you go, tactician. That's the technical term. The G.I Joe classified
series. Kind of guy to go in the gunner placement, surely.
A gunner, like a H.I.S.S gunner. That'd be good. I do want figures though. It really, if they can do every unlock with a figure and then like an extra thing. So like, here's a character, or here's an extra figure, and then here's the weapon effects, and here's an extra figure, and here's the missile unit, and here's an extra figure, and here's something. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way to keep people like going on this.
I almost wouldn't mind, Dan and Tom, if they did like a classic figure, and then a complete their own like, because in a way maybe this is a good opportunity. You know, like how they did with that bat, where they made that Crimson Guard bat, where it's just its own, you know, its own concept. Maybe just make a Cobra like driver or Cobra soldier that's specific to the H.I.S. tank, you know, that's completely unique and made by the Hasbro team, you know, or made by Ron Dudat or whatever. You know, just maybe give us an original one. Why not? This is a great opportunity. And then maybe one classic character, one original, or whatever, you know. Just, but again, so many opportunities, aren't there? So many possibilities.
Let's throw it to the chat. We've got over 110 people here, right? So what do you think the unlocks are going to be? We've already speculated that a missile turret or a missile carrier is going to be one thing that attaches into the side, which is great. We showed you some images. We're also expecting maybe a Cobra Commander of some scale or some sort to be in there. We also saw some weapon effects. What else? There's 4 unlocks here, people. So there've got to be 4 different things. Literal Action Figures says a H.I.S.S tank mechanic. I like that idea, a mechanic with some actual like spanners, accessories, and stuff like that, or something. Because some of this does come apart to reveal like machinery, doesn't it? Like, didn't the roof bit come off, or something on the roof? I love the seat, by the way. I love the big oversized seat bar as well. Safety first, at Mars Industries. I think a gun is a good shot.
Coming up, the small ladders coming up the side. But do you think if they did an accessory pack, they might do some kind of ladder on wheels that kind of wheels up to the side of it? That's a bit more like a gantry.
Yeah. We're getting 2 away from 6,000. If we refresh this, it's going to be over 2,000 surely. Oh, there you go. 2 away. 2 away. You're right, Eric Stream. We are 2 away from 6,000. 6,000 backers. Look, says Bring Toys to Work. Look again. Okay, I'm refreshing again. There you go. 6,006 backers. Wow.
That's impressive.
This is literally hours. No, was it hours? Yeah, literally 2-3 hours ago, people. 2-3 hours ago. Hang on, let me hide the porn bots from the chat. They're big G.I. Joe fans. Removing them. How many Haslabs are they buying, I wonder? Let's report them for explicit content. You've been reported. Off you go. Power, thank you very much to Stanley's Toys channel. He's subscribed. Thank you very much. Hopefully you're watching. Oh yeah, 6K. There you go, people. Let's refresh again. This is just fun. Yeah, 6,600 backers within a matter of hours. We only need 2 more thousand for to get this back. So I'm very confident this is going to get backed. Do you reckon the Star Wars team are like crying right now somewhere? Like
they
just
must be.
curled up in a ball, like going, why are we terrible at this? Like, why?
Well, if you think about it as well, this has got no licensing fee on it, so they probably bumped the price a bit just to make it comparable to the Marvel and Star Wars stuff. It's actually better for Hasbro to do G.I. Joe Haslabs than it is to do Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
Especially if they fund.
I know some people are not a fan of the concept of Haslab because it's a big company with a lot of money and they don't need crowdfunding to do these things. But again, if this is the way, if this is the only way for us to get these type of things, then I'm for it. But again, I hate to just tease Star Wars all the time, but surely a vehicle at the 6-inch scale here, getting over 6,000 backers within the first couple of hours, on like a G.I. Joe H.I.S. tank. Now, let's be honest, the fandom for G.I. Joe and Star Wars, I think Star Wars is a bit bigger. Like, no disrespect, we love Joe, but I think it's fair to say that the Star Wars fandom is a little bit higher than it comes to Joe's. Why are you not doing like a bloody X-Wing or something? Do you know what I mean? Like,
you make a good point there, Dan.
Do an X-Wing. Just make it happen.
You know what's probably even more, I don't want to say salt in the wound, but even more kind of, do you remember when the Black Series did that big TIE fighter from like the sequels, and that went, I bought that when that released. That was probably about £150 or something, and then it dropped to like a third of the price. It was about £50 in Smith's. So it's odd, isn't it? Because that's a 6-inch scale vehicle.
Maybe it put them off vehicles because they just went to like sale. They went on discount because they have done that with a snow vehicle as well, didn't they? I can't remember what it's called.
That's right.
And those look great.
Speeder,
yeah, they look great. Just looking into the chat real quick at some other people's suggestions. John says, Dan, I would love a tier to be sound effects added. That would be great. Another little play feature. Again, I wasn't even expecting lights, and we get lights, and we even get like your Cobra team can have a disco. Literally turn all the lights off, put the music on, and you can have a Cobra disco in amongst the collection. This is going to be great for Mark's conga lines. Mark's going to have the conga going all the way around the H.I.S. tank there with the lights flashing. MJ Gaming says they did do the Mandalorian ship. You're correct. They did do the Razor Crest, but that was at the 3 3/4 scale. We're talking 6-inch scale, like Black Series 6-inch. They really should be doing vehicles at this scale. David displaying model behavior. He says happy to buy into this. I don't know how much David is into G.I. Joes. But again, even non-G.I. Joe guys are going to be aware of this after all said and done, because with over a month away, they're going to be consistently revealing what the tiers are. They're going to be promoting this. We've got San Diego Comic-Con coming up. I reckon this is going to unlock everything. I genuinely think this is going to do all 4. Do you think the same, Tom? Are these going to do all 4 unlocks?
I think it's going to be 8,000 by the time we wake up tomorrow morning.
Wow.
If not before. And usually if it's going to be 8,000 on the first day, it'll double by the last day for sure.
Yeah, that's usually the first day and the last day. Like historically, are the two big jumps with Haslabs. Like that's just the way it is because you get FOMO on the last day, or people buying a second, or etc. So yeah, the last day you're going to see jumps. Do you think the same, Mark? Is this going to get them all?
Absolutely. I think I think it's going to easily hit 8. Like Tom said, it could hit it tonight, or when we wake up, it could hit it. And I think we're going to smash 16,000. And I even think the Hasbro team or Haslab team may even throw in something extra like they did with Galactus if it exceeds the funding.
Oh, okay. So if this gets 6,000 within a week, let's say, they're going to have to add another tier on just to keep the hype rolling to promote. David in the chat says he's fallen deep. But you're going to need deep pockets as well to get this one. We all are. But we need to make it happen. We need to make this a success, and we're nearly there. Let's give it another refresh. Why not? This is fun. Let's stay until it funds. No, only joking. 6,055. Sorry. David got infected by the Joe bug by Mark Tac. The army building king has that effect on you. He has that effect on you. I have an army upstairs because of the army building king, so I understand. I brought that TIE fighter for $49.99, says Jay's Toys Collection. That TIE fighter is impressive. But a lot of people, it's a lot on a lot of people's floors collecting dust because no one knows how to display it properly. Where is it in your house, Mark?
So mine, ironically, mine is collecting dust. Like most of everything in my house.
But, in deep space, just dust.
Yeah. Well, the ironic thing is, I was thinking when I backed the Cobra H.I.S., God, I better make the most of this because the last thing I want is this thing in dust. So yeah, I mean, but that's a point, isn't it? Like in a way, there is an excitement to get 2 or whatever, but you kind of, when you do get 2 or if you get 5 or whatever, you want to make the most of having them, don't you? Once you've got them, all the light features, and you definitely want to make the most out of them. So there is that, isn't it? Because in a way, I suppose, Dan, like you've got 2 Sentinels, right?
Yeah.
And you must feel like because I've never backed Haslab before, so you'll be able to advise me on this. Is there a certain excitement when it's revealed? See someone subscribe.
Thank you very much, Toy Bounty Hunter subscribed. I hope you're watching. If you are, let me know in the chat. Thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel.
Welcome, yeah. But is there an excitement like for when they reveal a Haslab, as there must be, and then an excitement for? Do you like, for example, do you feel like 2 was the perfect amount to get with a Sentinel?
I wanted my story with the Sentinel. Sorry to the G.I Joe people, we're just going a bit of a sidetrack, right? If you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you know this story. I've got a friend called Hero.Collections. You may have heard of him. A little guy called Brandon. Obviously, everyone in the toy community has those 1 or 2 people that you speak to every day, and at that time. Obviously, me and Brandon were speaking quite a lot about the Sentinel. And I was literally lying on my sofa. I remember vividly. I'm lying back on my sofa at like an hour left of the Haslab. Hour left the Sentinel. And I'd already backed 2. And I was like, I really want another. All right. And I'm an adult. I've got a credit card. I was like, let me just put it on the credit card and worry about it later. All right. And I was going to back another for free. Because in my head, I'll get 2 for display and I just keep 1 for a rainy day. Because again, like not in a scalper sense, but I don't know how to do the stock market. I don't know how to do cryptocurrency. That's not my expertise. But I do know toys. Do you know what I mean? And every single Haslab has went up in value, okay? So buying an extra one just to keep under the bed for a rainy day isn't a scalpery thing to me. That's just our area of expertise. And like, it's not like you ever force anyone to buy your collectibles. If someone out there is willing to pay the price, that may make them a very happy man at getting the collectible that they missed out on. Do you know what I mean? So I think buying an extra Haslab is always a sensible choice. Just think, I told you earlier, that Ghostbusters Haslab is already selling for $2,000 on eBay, and it's not even been released yet. So as a collector, I do think, as an army builder, I always go for even numbers. So I always wanted 2 of these, just so it represents more than 1 in a display. But I wanted to get that extra 1. But Brandon said, no, Dan, don't be stupid. It's too much money. He tried to talk some sense into me and made me not get it. And then I've regretted it every day since, especially when this went up to like £900 on eBay. Damn you, Brandon! I've still not forgive you, and that's why he'll never get a Christmas card from me. But I've missed that. So I wanted free. Galactus is a different story. You don't need to army build him. And again, last year, COVID, the world was weird. I just tried to be very clever and just buy 1. And then there's not really been any other Haslab from any brands that I've wanted yet. Like Star Wars, again, we've talked about them. They're not very good. I would have loved like a Power Ranger sort of command center or a Zord or something like that, but they haven't done a Power Rangers thing. So we've been waiting patiently for Joe's. And again, for me, this H.I.S.S tank is an army builder. Like you don't see one on screen, you see a fleet of them. So I would like another one. Ideal number for me is 3. Ideal number, but that's again, the misses around. But that's a lot of money, lads. Oh, safe by the super chat. Thank you very much.
California Red Devil donated
What's that?
$4.99.
super chat. Oh, thank you,
My
thank
sources
you.
tell me the final tier will be a smooshed anthropomorphic bow staff wielding turtle with tread marks on his shell. Keep it on the down low.
Thank you very much, California Red Devil. Sorry, the missus is an earshot, by the way, people. So if I just pretend that I get loads of super chats, she's not going to be mad when I buy loads of these, okay? Oh, another £1,000 super chat. Great. It's working, lads. It's working. My sources tell me that the final tier will be a smushed, actromorphic, I can't even read that word, bow staff wielding turtle with tread marks on his shell. I like California Red Devil, but I don't like his hatred for Donatello. Donatello will not be getting crushed by this tank. Donatello will be the pilot. He'll be able to fix this tank when it breaks down. That's the type of guy Donatello is. We will not be running him over with any H.I.S.S tanks. Thank you very much. But I do appreciate the £10,000 super chat. Much appreciated. Okay, that's probably a bit too much. It was only 1,000. Mike Cat says, Rush, I'll pick that up right there. What's he saying? Was Rush about? Rush says, I still have the Haslab Sentinel in the box. Yeah, I wanted 3 Sentinels. I got 2, and I'm very happy with 2. But yeah, I don't forgive Brandon for that. What would you?
How many did Brandon get again, Dan?
Just
did
2.
He get 1?
He basically wanted 3 as well, but he didn't. He talked me out of getting a 3rd one because he didn't want to get a 3rd one, and talked me down with him. The rascal. I'm the older, wiser guy. Why am I listening to him? Tom, all right, let's not talk about price, right? And like, we also, apart from money, apart from the price of thing, in the collector world, we have 2 enemies. Collectors have 2 enemies. Well, 3 if you include the misses, but 2 enemies. Money and space, okay? Big enemies in the collector world. There's always more out there that we want than we actually genuinely have space to buy. Especially in our UK homes. Our houses are much smaller than our American friends. This room, I'm literally touching both sides of the walls. It's ridiculous. But in an ideal world, forgetting about the price, just your own personal collection, how many of these would you like to buy? Like, do you not plan out an epic display in your head? Like, 2 of these flanking an army, or 3 of them, 4 of them? Like, in an ideal world, how many would you like? Just like.
The thing is, everything else needs to get spent. They need more army builders. That's why Bring Boys to Work needs 5. He's got so many blooming troopers.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Mark needs loads. I've only got enough troopers to do 1.
Yeah,
I'd happily have another one to keep in the box.
I think 2's a sweet number here, lads. 2's a sweet number at
I
least.
agree, Dan. Yeah,
2's a sweet number.
Yeah, I think any more than that, it's difficult to get the most out of them in a way. Like, yeah, on a display maybe, yeah, but like 3, 4, well maybe, but 3, 4, you kind of want to be, because like with all the action features, like the lights and the moving treads.
Imagine if the treads didn't move. Imagine if they were just rock hard treads.
Yeah,
that wouldn't have been good. But he proved in the video, in the actual video, I don't know if he got him rolling, but he did prove it moves. Did he move it? I think he did at some point. But yeah, they're moving treads. So I'm trying to find the clip when he moves it, but I don't know where it is. There it is. Look at that. That's pretty good. Looks pretty good.
I think that's what's helped. That's even a small feature like that has helped push how sort of how appealing it is, to 6,000 people say agree with me. So but yeah, definitely there's little features like that have really pushed it over the edge. But yeah, and there's more to come, more which we've yet to see as well.
So again, people, before as we wrap up here, sorry, Joe, I said an hour and we're an hour and 10 minutes in. Yeah.
Go on. How many would you get if you could have as many as you want?
I think honestly, I think Dan is saying a good number too.
I think I'm going to end up. I'll make it happen. Yeah. I'll sell some Mezcos. I think I'm going to get 2 of these. I think. They're only £30, really cheap.
This year I bought this game, so I'm not buying 2.
Yeah, okay. So I think I'm going to end up getting 2 of these. But my ideal sweet spot number would be 3. 1 to keep in box for that rainy day, just to keep mint, etc., whatever. But then 2 for like a symmetrical display. Yeah, I think I'm going to land on 2, but 3 is the sweet number for me because it's an army building vehicle. It's not a one and done. It's not like Galactus. You only need one Galactus in your display, but this is an army building vehicle. And as I said, we've got plenty of we've got more Cobras than we have Joes in a display, and this will definitely sprue. Imagine people are going to build dioramas for this to be on. Like this is going to look epic.
To be fair, there aren't many G.I. Joe vehicles that aren't army building vehicles. So.
Exactly. But again, this isn't coming out until the start of 2024, so we're not going to get another one anytime soon, I don't think. I think of something like a Trouble Bubble. If this is really successful, it may give the powers that be at Hasbro the confidence to do more vehicles, and they may do like a Trouble Bubble, like at the £100 price point, on Pulse or something like that.
Because a small two-seater Jeep, I think they could do that.
Yeah, like this is going to give them the confidence. They're going to realise, I think, because just think, Hasbro as a company haven't had much faith in G.I. Joe over the years, have they? It's like constantly disappearing, coming back. But Classified has really, especially Classified started off bumpy, didn't it? Let's be honest, with some of those new designs and the golds, and they based it off that game. But as soon as they moved away from that game concept and started giving us the Joes that we wanted, Classified has just been improving. And I think if this Haslab is a big success, it's going to make the people, the powers that be at Hasbro, pay more attention to the brand and whole and go, okay, maybe you can expand and do a little bit more. Because you think at the minute, their two price points are basically single packed figures and then the deluxe ones. That's all they've got. Where a lot of other toy lines have multiple different price ranges. Like with Hasbro, you've got the single pack, you've got the deluxe, you've got the super deluxe, the Modocs, the Riders Waves, the box sets, the Amazon exclusives, etc. So I do think if this is a success, it will make go, okay, G.I. Joe's a brand. Clearly there's a fan base for it. Let's expand. Let's do a little bit more. And like a Trouble Bubble. Like, I know we've got bikes, but everyone does bikes. That's the easiest thing to do. But a Jeep would be great. A Joe, again, the next vehicle would have to be a Jeep as well, or a Joe vehicle at least. But even, do you know, like if they're going to move away from bikes, I'd love them to do like, do you know, like a snow speeder or something like that. Do you know, or a jet ski or something.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, like just smaller vehicles, but just
quad bike.
Not everything has. Yeah, quad bike. Quad bike would be great. A quad bike. Or do you know, like it's not a golf cart? I don't know what it's called, but do you know, like a beach buggy type vehicle thing. You can get them. They're like military style versions of them. So I hope that this is a success and it blows past all the tiers to give Hasbro that confidence, because I'm sure the Hasbro team want to do all those type of things, but again, they're limited. They've got bosses as well. But once again, people, moving treads. The windows go up. They fold into 3 places. Loads of extra sculpted parts. You've got the gunner up there with both of the guns go up and down and have articulation. Lights all over this thing with the panels on the front and the light in the back. You've got weapon storage, a seat for the Cobra Commander. Like at least this carries at least 3. We get 2 if this backs, which it will. We're gonna get 2 figures out of the gate. Weapons, interchangeable hands. Like I know £300 is not cheap for a collectible. It's not. But again, in the world of the Haslab era, this is good. This is better than what we're used to getting. So bravo. We're moving up to 5 figure waves instead of 3, says Fortress Maximus. That's true. So again, that shows that Hasbro are going deeper with Joes, because next year they are. The end of this year, we're going to have 5 figures in a wave rather than 3. Quad bike would be a standalone retail release, says Rogan. Craig says a Snowcat, please. Snowcat. Whale, Rattler, Sky Striker. 0% chance of being made for less than 500. Yeah.
I don't think going to do a Sky Striker, because I think that when they had the Sky Striker for the 3.75 inch on the table, it looked bigger than this, like by a long way.
Right? I know it's not to scale with 6 inch, but you could hang that from the ceiling.
You could fudge it, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon you can fudge it in the background of a. I don't know, like I like the only thing I've ever dangled from a ceiling is the turtle blimp. Do you know what I mean? But that's a big blimp of air. Like this a big. I'd be scared of hanging this on fishing wire from my ceiling, but it would look great. But you don't have to. I don't know. I don't get me wrong. If that was a Haslab at the 6 inch scale, I'd be all in it. But again, we say the same thing about Marvel Legends and the Blackbird and stuff like that. But I love the display base there. Do you know where it rotates on the display base? That's a really good touch. But and that Haslab was reasonably priced as well, to be fair. And they had to add extra shit on that just to make sure it got backed. And we're glad it did. Otherwise, we probably would never have got the H.I.S. tank today. But look at that. It just looks impressive. It just looks good. Like, again, Greg brought up some great points earlier. Like, it could have been RC. It could be more. But I think for what we get and what we expect from Hasbro, I'm not saying just because we expect it, it's right or wrong. But for me personally, as a consumer, and my thoughts and feelings, I am happy. And again, over 56% of the people that have joined in today have said yes, better than expected. Only 9% say no way, it's terrible. But again, I've also realised that a lot of non-G.I. Joe collectors watch Joes and Juice, which is great, but still, is interesting. So again, go on, Mark.
I also think, Dan, part of the excitement of this is the actual Haslab experience. Because I kind of think if they released a H.I.S. tank at retail, I think it would work. I think it would be successful. But part of the excitement is, I'm sure it's the same
marketing thing. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, I'm sure it's the same when you've bought back the Sentinel and Galactus. Part of it's the excitement of you're watching the buzz of it, like funding and the backers, and you're excited for it. And if you just bought, say, Galactus or Sentinel, like, say, I'm going to say Smiths, but let's say one of our online, probably there'd be a certain different level of excitement. So there's that kind of extra excitement, isn't there? Like,
every single reveal will be a big deal. Like, if it's a good one as well, it will spread like wildfire in the community. I just want to find that bit where Emily sticks her fingers in the Haslab. I know that sounds dodgy, but she does. It was for the greater good. So I want to show Tom that she shows that where the guy will stand. I don't know if she's done it already. Basically, it's hollow, Tom, so he definitely can stand in the back.
And there's like a semi-circular.
Yeah. There's a platform. Platform's the right word. Yeah, I don't know why the word platform escaped me, but yes, I don't know whereabouts she did it. Somewhere there, but there's definitely like a circle platform that he can stand on in there. And she put her hand in it and showed. You could see it from the back. I didn't realise there's 4 lights as well on the back as well, on the top of the door, bottom of the door. There you go. I think she shows you now. Look, there you go. Look, I think she's showing you.
Yeah, you can see the shadow of it.
Go on, Emily. Go on, Emily. Stick it in there. Go on. Oh, go on. There we go. Oh, it's in. Oh, it's in. It's in. There it is. There it is, wiggling. Yeah, so it's hollow. It can stand in there. But yeah, I look forward to it. Again, lads, any final thoughts? Any extra? Anything you want to add as I skim through these pictures here? Over as I said, people have excited about this. A random Joes and Juice with only an hour's notice. We had a few people drop in. Lots of people getting involved in the chat. Lots on the poll. I appreciate you all. So final thoughts on the Haslab, gentlemen. So first of all, confirm that you're in. How many you're getting, and final thoughts on the Haslab, and what you're looking forward to next. Like,
okay, Tom, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'm actually now looking forward to whatever the next Haslab is going to be, because I feel like this is going to fund fast.
2024.
Yeah. So I'm thinking what Joe vehicles are going to go for is what I'm excited about right now.
Again,
and hopefully a properly decorated bazooka at some point.
The success, that's inevitable. That's going to happen. But the success of this, as I said, is only a good thing for the G.I. Joe brand in general. So 100%. But any final thoughts on the tank? Any standout bits to you, Tom, before we get out of here?
Just the sheer size of it, I think, is impressive. Just it's going to sit nicely with my new garage of vehicles that I've got going. They're all going to turn up very soon.
Yeah, there it is. Look at it. I love the translucent window as well. It definitely reminds me of vehicles and stuff. It reminds me of building Lego vehicles as a kid. You know, you could always get those like translucent windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. What about you, Mark? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's, come on, let's be honest. It's a great thing for any classified collector. Was exactly like what you said, Dan. I completely agree. It opens the doorway for more vehicles, be they small, be they lesser price. So in theory, there'll be something for everyone. There'll be something if someone say doesn't want to back this. It opens the option for trouble bubbles or smaller things, like maybe a checkpoint or something, that can be sold at retail. Not just vehicles, maybe, even maybe play sets, things like a checkpoint or rifle range, with targets, that kind of thing. It definitely opens the gate for so many possibilities. And yes, I've backed it. Yes, I'm going to get one for now, maybe more. I think it's, it's really, really positive, and the speed with which it's backing. I mean, exactly. It's only a good thing.
It's went up hundreds. Literally, we've been here for an hour and a bit, and it's gone up hundreds in the time we've been here. Absolutely insane. The interior. So Damien says the interior rocks. Damien is correct. Like I love. Again, it wasn't something I was even thinking about, but the back, the actual screens are going to have panels and pictures on, and they're going to be lit. Like it doesn't really do it justice in these images here. But like, how good's that going to look in person? Like as a kid,
absolutely.
As a kid, like I even think way back to the retro Turtle van. It's just like a smooth, hollow surface with a steering wheel. Do you know what I mean? There was never buttons or anything like that. And as a kid, that would always bother me. Like there was never ever controls or anything like that. But look at this. You've got like gears, like a control both to the left and side, buttons, panels, a targeting system. It's all lit up. Like again, these are just little tiny things that makes my man-child brain very happy. Even the seatbelt. They didn't have to do a seatbelt, did they? Let's be honest. You could have just plopped a guy in there. But the seatbelts are just a nice touch as well. And they've definitely, again, this ain't just a quick cash grab. This, like, the people making this have put some thought into it, and they're trying to give the Joe community what they want. And again, this is exceeded my expectations. I didn't even know what my expectations were. Again, we guessed it would be a H.I.S. tank, but this is better than what I expected it to be. Pleasantly surprised, easily 100% back in one. But I'm going to try for two. I'm going to, as I said, try and flog some Mezcos. Just flog a conga line. Just get rid of one of your conga lines. I know, yeah. Pick your least favourite conga line and be like, you're out of here.
You've danced your last dance.
Yeah, get out. Yeah. Wait, I'm getting more than Mark, says Mike. Mike, how many is Mike getting? Mike, are you sure your wife has approved this, Mike, right? We know what your wife's like. Does she know about this? You need to keep that secret, that's for sure. This stream has made me itchy. Phil. Yes, Phil. Reel him in. That's it. We need another backer, Phil. Come on, help us. Back now, Phil. And you've got until the 16th of August to change your mind. And you know how easy it is to cancel on Hasbro Pulse as well. You may as well just back now, Phil. Just back now. Get it done. Just get it done. You've got a whole month to change your mind. And help us get to that tier. Just back 5. You've got time to cancel, Phil. You've got time to cancel. And if you don't cancel, then at least at Christmas 2023, all the family get H.I.S. tanks.
Phil, do you remember that classic Marvel comic where the Avengers rode a H.I.S. tank around?
Yeah. Quick. We'll start writing it after we finish the stream, and we'll send it you shortly. It may be very pencil drawn stick men, but definitely Avengers. But yeah, this is crazy. Okay, any final thoughts from the chat? Let's jump to the chat real quick. If you've got anything final to say, your final thoughts on this Haslab, please let them be known in the chat, and I will read a couple out before we go. Sorry for keeping you a little bit longer, gentlemen, but
no problem.
Exciting times.
No worries.
Let me bring up the chat on the screen. Okay, if you've got something to say it now, people. It'll pop up in the chat. Again, over 100 people here. The lights are flashing behind me. We will be talking about this all over again on Legends and Liquor. Do my graphics work for Legends and Liquor? They do. Legends and Liquor, people, this Sunday. So if you want to be a part of this channel and be on the stream and talk about this and all the other Marvel Legends news and all that good stuff, this Sunday is a Legends and Liquor week. Sunday is the 3rd of July. So this Independence Day, the day before Independence Day, come and celebrate with us on my channel. Again, happy Independence Day to all my Americans. We beat those aliens. Thank you, Will Smith. That's what they celebrate, right? That's what I always thought as a kid. I didn't realise. Okay, the chat's rolling. Okay, Mike says 2. He says we don't need to talk about that. I'm assuming his missus is involved. Jay says, I agree, way better than expected. Seems like a lot of effort went into this. Love Lenny's passion for the brand. California Red Devil says Hasbro should give this show a commission. They should have sent me at least one of those bloody boxes. Am I right? Yeah. Come on now. Spirit has shipped from Dork Souls to Doombot. Tom, your thoughts on Spirit? You said this may have been one of your favorites, right?
Because I was excited a bit, but I'd done a custom, so I wasn't like overly excited about getting it.
Yeah, sorry.
I think it might be my favourite Joe at the moment.
So I got a little bit too excited and jumped straight into the Haslab talk, but we did receive some Joes today, and both me and Tom got Spirit, and you got Storm Shadows on the way, you said, right?
Shadow's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. And you've got some coming on the weekend, Mark, right?
Yeah, Spirit is here in spirit for me.
Spirit is here in spirit. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, some Joes are starting to hit as well before the end of the month, which is great to see. And I think if you've ordered any on Pulse, they're all due around the first week of July anyway. I think I've got a Cobra Officer on Pulse. I'm still waiting to get. This is so worth it. Can't wait for my first ever Haslab, says Just Incredible. Yeah, this is going to be impressive. But again, we've got a while to wait and still 4 more tiers to unlock, at least. Aaron says, I love the excitement, glad to be a collector. Of course, that's what it's all, again, that's what it's all about. This escapism, just having some fun with the brands we love, building those little displays on the shelf. That's the adult version of playing with toys, by the way. I tell people, I try and explain this to people all the time. Like, as an adult, we're not really on the floor. Well, we may be when no one's looking, but we're not really on the floor playing shoot 'em ups. Our version of playing with toys is building our epic displays, and everyone's displays are different, and no one can display wrong. Again, each to their own. Home Dude says, "Keep my planet's name out of your mouth." What, was that a line from something? Mike says, "I'll be available for Legends Liquor unless we talk about how many I brought there. Maybe a murder on live on the stream. That would do some decent numbers for me on the stream. I might be game for that if I don't mind. It's worthy sacrifice, Mike. Worthy sacrifice." Damien says, "Was the H.I.S.S tank lava proof or heat proof?" Mark Tack Tack. Do you know that answer, Mark?
Well, it's not wallet proof. I'll tell you that, Damien.
True. It's true. It's true. It's definitely going to batter on the wallets. I opened my wallet the other day and a spider came out. Like an actual spider climbed out. Weird. Ain't moths meant to fly out? Like an actual spider climbed out my wallet. Phil said he's backed. Can we get a round of applause for Phil? Hooray! Thank you very much, Phil. Let's see. Now we've got to try and convince him not to cancel. This is why you shouldn't watch Joes+Juice, people, all right? It's infectious. It's infectious. Chicken Wickham Kiara says, "What happened? I just went to washing up and come back and the numbers have gone up." Well, we didn't want to sort of drop Jay in it, but he might have backed 5. I'm just saying, check his account. Just saying, check his account. Bring toys to work also says, "Congratulations, Phil Jones." Stanley's Toy Channel says, I back it getting 2. Just wonder if it'll be the first Haslab to get a reissue. Now, none of the Haslabs have got a reissue. I don't think it will happen. I think that erases the whole point of the Haslab concept. You got to be in it. You got to get in it on the ground floor. Everyone's very happy for Phil. Narrowing on 6,300. Let's give it a refresh before we get out of here. Yep, it is 6,280. Let's put it back up on screen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Where's the chat box gone? There you go. Let's do this. Press that button. Let's bring it back. 6,280. Crazy. I'll leave it up on the screen as we get out of here. Again, the poll's still running. I'm going to end the poll now. Ending the poll. But we got 55% of the vote. Over 140 votes. Or near 140 votes. 139 votes. 55% says yes, better than expected. 26% want it, but price too high. And 8% says no way, it's terrible. 7% says I'm getting more than 1. So out of all of that, a lot of the percentages were in a positive favour. Only 8% said no way, it's terrible. Everyone else either wants it, getting more than 1, or it was better than they expected. Mike says, "Have we gotten Rich to collect Joes yet?" I don't think Rich is going to be in. But if there was a Baroness in this, then Rich would have been in trouble. But I think he's all safe and clear. And poor Brandon's just waiting for a decent Star Wars Haslab. He'll be waiting longer than 2024 at this rate, it seems, though, unfortunately. We'll probably have our H.I.S.S tanks before he has a decent Star Wars Haslab. Chica Monkey Gara says, "Wedding is not looking promising then." Sad times. Unless you arrive to the wedding in a H.I.S.S tank. You could wear these. If he brought a couple of H.I.S.S tanks, you could use them as rollerblades. Just instead of putting an actual character in the cockpit, just put your feet in there and you can skate to the wedding. G.I Joe themed. Paul Morales says, hello everyone, and goodbye everyone, because we are about to wrap up today. Thank you to everyone who joined us for this very spontaneous Joes+Juice with our initial thoughts and excitement for this Haslab. Again, we'll be talking about it on Joe's Legends and Liquor this Sunday, people. So again, I'll be back live tomorrow, but if you do want to be on Legends and Liquor, again, hit that join button. Channel members only, but it's turned into a nice little community there. Virtual hangout. And yeah, Rich M said, "Good job, women can't drive." Yeah, good job it's not a woman driver. But lads, until then, tell the good people where they can find you online. Tom?
At Mini Plastic Multiverse on Instagram and at Mini Plastiverse on Twitter.
Beautiful. Mark?
Well, Tac Tac Customs on Instagram, Dan. Tac Tac Toys with Film on YouTube. Where I do YouTube videos about action figures and films, and I've even dabbled at TikTok. But yeah, that's I'm
avoiding TikTok.
Yeah. Tac Tac on TikTok. Yeah.
You should do a video on your channel about this announcement.
I was actually thinking that.
You should. You 100% should.
Yeah.
Just a little biteable, snackable content. Your first thoughts. Because again, it's perfect time. Everyone's excited for it. Take care, collectors in the chat. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us today for the show. Again, I'll be back tomorrow with Brandon and the super producer. That's right, I still haven't forgiven them for that third Sentinel. The Sentinel gives a thumbs up to the H.I.S.S tank. There we go. Hey, he's happy about it. My wallet isn't. And if Amanda's still listening... Oh, another super chat. Oh, great. I can now buy the H.I.S.S tank. Right, good one. Thank you to everyone who's still in the chat. Chinky Wunkagara, Phil Jones, who we enabled to buy one. Mike Hex, Jay's Toys Collection, Bring Toys to Work. Rich M was lurking. Thomas Brook, Damien, Paul Morales, Doombot, Stanley's Toy Channel, Daniel S, Compulsive Collector, Home Dude, Aaron, Toy Bounty Hunter, Rich M Gaming. Ray Gaming. Sorry, Rich M's gaming channel is meant to be secret. Art G was in the chat as well. Fortress Maximus, Stu Rapp, Bocat, Craig Smith, X-Manny was even in the building. He says that he backed 3 so far and he's freaking stoked. Sorry, Manny, I didn't see you there. Robert as well, Ronan. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's lingered. Thank you to everyone who watched. And we'll play the intro to see us out. Watch the intro. It's a good intro, right? We'll see you soon. Next time they do some reveals, we'll be back, all right? That's how these shows work. They're spontaneous. We get you when you most expect it, I guess. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bye-bye. Let me press the intro and we'll be out of here. Bye-bye.